I'm trying fishbowl for the first time, and that is probably quite strange for somebody that has lived in Australia for almost 5 years, because everybody raves about fishbowl. And to be honest, I've always been put off by it because, to be honest, I don't eat that much salad, and I always just assumed it would be primarily fish based, but it isn't. So I got the 5-spice beef bowl. Yeah, and it's pretty healthy. It actually has the macros on here. So it's 557 calories, 35 grams of protein, 41 carbs, and 26 grams of fat. So as you guys know, I'm on a calorie deficit at the minute. So this is like my little treat to myself. For a bit's a treat anyway, because like I said, I've never had it before. But I'm gonna try today if I can get the box open. It looks very flat. But this is what it is. Beef, rice. I don't know if it usually comes with avocado. I think that might have been an additional thing that she added, because she was asking us whether we liked avocado. So I reckon they were just trying to shift whatever avocado they had left. So anyway, here's to try new things. It's nice, but what I would like is to mix up the beef and rice and the salad a bit. Oh my god, I can't speak. What I would like is to mix up the beef, rice and salad, so you get like a little bit of everything in one mouthful. But anyway, this is pretty good, and kind of feels like you're having a cheat meal, I guess, because you're eating out, but actually fits in my macros. Finished lunch. I thought it was quite nice. I'm not like 100% sold. I would like to try maybe a chicken one next time, but it was good, and it's good that it fits into my macros. And I guess it definitely did kind of feel like a treat, because it isn't something that I would usually have. But tonight for dinner, I'm gonna have a steak with, what did I actually say we're gonna, oh, with mashed potato, and then some broccoli as well. Just trying to get some more veggies in. I need to go for a run today, just a little short one. I'm going to do a 3K run, probably just down to Bondi. So I'm going to let my food digest a bit and then go do that run and then get my steps in. I kind of fell off track a little bit with getting my 10K steps in every day, but I've told myself that I'm going to get back onto it. So I've done it for the last 2 days. I definitely haven't done many steps today, but I'll obviously get some steps in on this run, and then I'll walk back from the beach. So that'll take me like, I don't know, however long that takes me as well. So hopefully by the time I've done those 2 things, that will be pretty close to my 10K steps. Plan is to have like a very, very chilled weekend this weekend, because last weekend was honestly just fun but crazy, and like I don't love to drink that much on a weekend, if I'm honest. It was just like very, very full on, and not something that I want to repeat this weekend. So I'm going to be taking it very easy this weekend. No plans to drink, not really any major plans, to be honest. A very chill weekend at home. The weather is kind of like okay but not great. Like it's not beach weather, but it's also not raining, but it's also not super warm out on my run. I'm actually going on the hill as we speak, so maybe a little bit out of breath, but this is meant to be a steady pace run. Only a little short one, like just over 3 k's. I'm gonna run down to the beach. Oh my god, scared me. Yeah, nice little challenge, to be honest. The sun just come out, so it's a bit warmer than I was expecting, but it would be nice when I get down to the beach. Made it to the end of my run. I actually love running that route, like running down to the beach. A, because it's downhill, so it's very, very easy to run. But also you get to finish and end up with such a lovely view, and I just really love being down here. I feel like it's so important when you move over, and obviously, you know, like I've lived here almost 5 years now, and I never ever want to take it for granted that I get to live somewhere so incredible with such amazing beaches, and like I'm so close to the beach, and that's literally all I ever really wanted when I was growing up, and now I finally have it. And I think it's just important to take a moment to realise the things in life that you've accomplished and the things that you used to dream of that you now have. Obviously, you know, now I have other things that I'm aspiring to do, but I think it's important to reflect on the things that you have managed to achieve. So anyway, I'm just having a little minute to myself, and then I'm going to walk back up the ginormous hill back home, pretty much. Back from the run, walked all the way back. It's honestly such a steep hill, but I'm thinking to myself, if I actually start walking back up the hill after I run down to the beach rather than get the bus, that actually probably is like perfect zone 2 training, because my heart rate is definitely probably, well, I'm assuming my heart rate is probably in that zone 2 zone. Plus, it means just healthy, get your steps in, it's always good. Anyway, just got back home, popped to the Coles to go get some dinner, and then I'm just gonna have some pre-run, sorry, that's a lie. I'm gonna have some post-run fuel. So I'm gonna have this YoPro yogurt, and then on my meal plan today, had a protein smoothie, and I just didn't fancy that today. So instead, I went to go pick up some, it says jerky, but it's actually biltong. And I love biltong so much with a passion. It is like, I feel like it's a not very well known high protein snack, but it's so good. It's honestly unreal. Basically, I haven't said this before on the vlogs, but when we were younger, when my dad was younger, he grew up in both, well, he lived in both South Africa and Zimbabwe. So we used to go to those countries a lot when we were kids because my grandparents were still living over there. And yeah, and I feel like that's probably where our love of biltong formed. First things first, I'm gonna eat my yogurt. It was actually interesting, I was just literally thinking a second ago so that run down to the beach is all downhill. And I remember pretty early on into my running journey, Stephen and I ran down there together, and we must have been running like 7-minute Ks, and honestly, I was struggling so much. Like I was so out of breath, I really just like, it just wasn't the one. And now I can run pretty fast. Again, it's downhill, but still like my fitness is definitely so much better. So feeling good. I'm like still listening to the final Akatar book. I have 2 hours left of this book. Then I'm done. So hopefully I'll get it done this weekend. Good morning. Oh my god, the wind is so bad. I woke up in the middle of the night last night actually, and we forgot to bring our machine off the balcony, and I honestly thought it was going to blow away. Like the wind's horrendous, and like all this morning it's been so bad. So I hope you can hear me. It's not too windy when I'm trying to have a chat with you guys. But yeah, so update to last night. We stayed up to watch Venom, which is like one of my favourite movies. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love that movie so much. I think it's so funny. I think it's just got like a little bit of everything, so I just really like it. And anyway, the new Venom movie is coming out in a couple of weeks, so we said that we would watch Venom 1 and 2 in the build up to going to see the third one, which comes out on the 24th of October. And I actually booked our tickets already last night for the movie, which is like so early because it was like 2 weeks in advance that I bought those movie tickets. But other people had already bought their seats, so like there's 2 specific seats that we like to sit in the cinema and I'm one of those seats. So anyway, we just booked in advance, so that's all done and dusted. I am actually on the way into the city. I'm going to go meet a friend for a Pilates class in the city because I found out that she actually goes to the same gym as me, and with the Fitness First you can basically go to any Fitness First as long as you have like the right level membership tier basically. So that's what I'm doing today. So I decided I'm going to walk into the city, which is like an hour, just over an hour, get my steps in for the day, because you know we're all about our 10k steps. I also finished that last Akatar book yesterday, so today I was in the hunt for a new book and I picked The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I actually wanted to read The Housemaid because I know that they're turning that into a movie, but they didn't have it on my online app, so The Teacher it is. So anyway, I'm going to listen to that, and then I'm going to, well, basically walk. So I've got like over an hour's walk, and I'm going to go meet Shannon. It's a good few hours later, and honestly, I feel like I've just wasted the last few hours. I've literally just been sat on my phone, doom scrolling, doing absolutely nothing productive. And anyway, I decided that I need to stop doing that and actually get out and do something for today. I was also just kind of having one of those days where I just haven't been feeling, not 100%, but just like haven't been feeling great like about myself. You know, I'm just having like a bit of a down day, which is why I decided to do my hair, put a little bit of makeup on, because I literally had a shower after I got back from the gym, and then just kind of sat and did nothing for a few hours, doom scrolling. That's when my doom scrolling started. So I figured I didn't want to just sit and like be in that mood because I hate being in that mindset, and it's not something that I really experience very frequently, but when I do get it, I really, really, really dislike it. So anyway, that's why the rare occasion that I have some makeup on and my hair done. But I think I'm gonna go out and just get out of the house for a bit, maybe just go on a walk, get some fresh air, listen to my book. I obviously started that book when I was walking to the gym earlier, and yeah, it's pretty good so far. It's obviously like not really explored too much of it yet. The other thing actually that has been getting me a little bit down recently is my skin, and obviously I've got makeup on at the moment, so not a good representation, but I feel like I've just been breaking out, like constantly been breaking out. So I bought some I can't remember what it's called, this like skin vitamin type thing. One of the girls that I know, she uses it and she says it's really good, it helped her. So anyway, I bought some of those. It says it will take about 3 months to actually do anything. So again, just have to kind of wait. And I also ended up reordering my software prescription. If you guys haven't heard of software, it's basically like a skincare brand that is done by telehealth GPs, so they can basically prescribe you tretinoin, which helps kind of like resurface your skin almost. It helps with like your cell turnover. So waiting for that to be delivered, and hopefully my skin will be improved by the time Christmas rolls around, because that's kind of like 3 months from right now, like just under. But yeah, I've been honestly just wasting my day, which is not what I want. So I need to get out of the house and just go and do something. Okay, I know I just said I'm gonna go outside and get some fresh air because that always makes you feel better. However, I just went out on the balcony. It's freezing outside. It's actually freezing, so I feel like that's not gonna happen. The wind today has been something else, actually something else. So I'm just gonna get myself in a better mindset. I'm gonna have I'm already eating a protein yogurt, so getting some protein in. I'm making myself a cup of tea. I'm actually gonna catch up on some YouTube videos because I haven't watched YouTube for a little while now, and I feel like with YouTube sometimes I need to like be in the mood to watch it, and then I kind of like binge it for a little while. So that is what we're gonna do. That is what I'm gonna do to make myself feel better, and yeah, just kind of have like a little cozy afternoon in the house. Look at these 3 little birds that have just come to chill on my balcony. I don't know where they have come from, but a second ago they all just flew up and were just like here on the floor, but now they're just chilling on the balcony, all 3 of them together, like they're mates on a day out. I cooked us lunch. I had a kangaroo burger for lunch. I actually had the most random lunch today. I had a kangaroo burger with some cheese with no bun. I had some pickles. I had 2 kiwis. And I think that was actually it. I don't know why. It's just like the most random of lunches today, but that's just what I fancied, and it actually massively filled me up considering it really wasn't very big. But I actually came on here to show you guys a couple of things that I have bought recently. Now, these were kind of like splurge purchases, I guess, but they are things that I have wanted for a very long time, and I told myself I would buy them before Christmas, and I know we're only in October, but basically, the first thing I bought was a GoPro. Take my order thing off. I got the newest GoPro, and the reason I bought this was because when we were in Thailand, which honestly seems like ages ago now, it was obviously in January, our GoPro, I found like I was charging it and then we'd be out on the boat and like ready to go use it, and it would just be dead, and I just don't know what was wrong with it. So anyway, it was pretty old. It was actually given to us by Stephen's sister, so it was time to treat ourselves to a new one. And when I say treat ourselves, I mean treat myself, because I paid for this. Stephen did not contribute towards this. But basically, I was just like having a little browse on JB Hi-Fi, and then I realized that it was on sale. So I think they're usually at JB Hi-Fi like $650, I think, and it was reduced down to $599. And then if you guys didn't know, when you go onto JB Hi-Fi, if you ask them for a discount, they'll always give you a discount. So I got like an extra $10 off of that. So then it was $589, and then I got a $30 voucher because they were doing some other promotion at the store. The other thing I told myself I would buy before Christmas was a digital camera. I don't know about you, but I hate the iPhone camera. I've got an iPhone 15 Pro Max, despise the camera. So I bought myself a little digital camera. Now this is the Kodak PixPro FZ55. Ignore the ugly red color, not the color I would have chosen. I wanted the black one, but they didn't have the black. And in hindsight, I probably should have just ordered online because I wasn't in a massive rush for it. But again, so this was $249, and they brought it down to $209 for me. So I only paid $209 for this. So it's been a little bit of an expensive weekend, to be honest with you. Haven't obviously opened either of them yet, but I am excited to try this and take some photos with it and see what it's actually like. The other sort of big life change, which I've been sort of like debating, not whether or not I would film and tell you guys about this, but I just like have been putting off wanting to do it. Like it's just not really something that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to. So I basically found out that I need to have surgery to remove my gallbladder. And the reason I found this out was probably about a month or so ago now. I finished eating dinner and I had these like horrendous pains, and I thought at first like, oh, like I just ate too quickly or something, but that little pain turned into about 8 hours of just like solid pain that I can only imagine is what a heart attack feels like. It was so horrendous, it was so awful. And sort of to cut a long story short, it turns out I have gallstones and I will need to get my gallbladder removed. So I spent the evening in the hospital and they were trying to determine whether or not I needed to have emergency surgery. And bear in mind, actually, this was just before we had moved house. So this was happening on a Friday evening. We're due to move house on the Tuesday. So like not an ideal time to go into emergency surgery. And also at the same time as the move, Stephen was also away. So I was by myself. Of course, like my friends offered to come to the hospital, and they would have done had I have had the emergency surgery. But I basically told them all there was no point in coming because I was still waiting to find out what was even going to happen. But I don't have to have I didn't have to have emergency surgery, but I do have to have the surgery at some stage. So I am booked in for surgery on the 29th of November. So in about 6 weeks time from like where I'm currently filming this video. So with all of that being said, obviously I was already in the calorie deficit when this stuff was just starting, but I was, you know, being a little bit more flexible with what I was eating. But one of the things with gallstones is you have to be very careful with what you are eating, because essentially your gallbladder is where your body stores excess bile. So when you eat food and your body is trying to digest food, it will release that bile out of your gallbladder to help break down especially more fatty foods or foods that are higher in saturated fats. So basically what your gallbladder does is it stores that bile and then it releases it when your body is trying to digest food, so that it just aids with the digestion basically, which is why the attacks usually happen after you finish eating. So I've got to be very, very careful with what I'm eating. So I'm on a super clean diet at the moment, which again, I was already in a calorie deficit, so that side of it was fine. Not that I would need to be in a calorie deficit for my surgery, but as in just in terms of like I'm trying to eat pretty clean anyway, but having a medical reason to eat clean is obviously just that, not even motivation. It's just like I just have to do it because honestly I've never felt pain like that. I would say I've got a good pain tolerance. That was the worst pain I've ever felt in my whole life, and it was like an 8-hour period of it basically. When I went to go see the specialist, he told me that the pain is comparable to that of a heart attack, and if I got an attack again like during this period, then I was more than welcome to come into the hospital to be put on morphine, because that is the level of pain basically that you have to go through. And the way that it works with this kind of surgery is that if I do get another attack, they wouldn't do an emergency operation unless I get an infection, which obviously then leads to further complications, or if the pain was lasting longer than 10 hours. So of course, like you don't want to be in pain for 10 hours. So that's how it kind of like, you know, what's been going on at the moment. So I've just been trying to take it easy, and alcohol doesn't actually have any impact on it, but it's mainly just food. So I've just got to be super careful of what I'm eating. So close to the time, I'll take you guys on that journey with me. It was quite like it was a lot to take in when I first found out, especially because Stephen was away and I was just by myself and I was stressed about moving, and it was just like a lot going on. But yeah, I thought today was finally the time to update you guys with everything that's been going on. Apologies for talking for quite a good chunk of time, but yeah, it's just kind of like what's going on in my life at the minute. From a late lunch with the girls. We went to this cute little cafe in North Sydney called Cafe Lost and Found. I am still trying to stick to my calorie deficit, so I had a piece of bread, basically a piece of toast with 2 scrambled eggs. So yeah, pretty boring, literally what I would eat at home, except I paid a small fortune for it. But I don't know, it actually really annoys me when cafes charge so much for literally just scrambled eggs on toast. But anyway, it is what it is. We paid for it. I'm back now. I need to go run a 10k. Steven's actually going to come running with me today, which is the first time in a long time that I've ran with him, to be honest. So I need to get changed out of these gym clothes into different gym clothes because I can't run in these shorts. So for like 10k I need to wear shorts that I'm not going to chafe in. The weather today it was really cold actually when I was just outside, but it looks like the sky makes it look deceivingly nice, but it's cold. Don't let the sky fool you. But honestly, it's been a very, 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 very chill weekend. I don't know what we're going to do, what the plan is after this 10k, but I also have a face makeup on, so I'm going to run in makeup today, which is not something that I usually do. So it will probably look very, very, very messy once we're done because I sweat a lot when I run. So anyway, enough chatting. I need to get changed and get running. We're out on our 10k run. It's been a very, very long time, like I said, since we have ran together. We are running into the city, which actually depressingly is only about 5 or 6 k's. Sorry, about 6 or 7 k's. We're going to try to do 10, so we'll have to do a bit of a run after we actually get to the city. All of a sudden, in true fashion as well, it's gotten really warm as soon as we actually start running, so face full of makeup is already starting to melt off a little bit. About 5 k's in, I'm not gonna lie, this is not feeling enjoyable. The first like 4 k's were fine, and then this last kilometre has sucked, if I'm being honest. It is like 1 o'clock and all I've had today was at breakfast, so 1 piece of bread and 2 eggs, and I felt that's just not enough fuel basically for running this much later on in the day. So 5 k's to go, so I'm gonna try and finish it still, but yeah, it's just one of those runs that isn't my best. About 700 meters to go, and this is probably one of the worst runs of my whole life. I feel horrendous, I feel so tired, I feel so weak, but 700 to go, so I can get it done. But this is just a reminder, not every run is going to feel good, it's going to feel nice. Just got back home. Yeah, that was a really humbling run because I feel like my running had been pretty good and I was feeling pretty confident, and then in the app that just took it out of me. But I'm trying not to get down about it because a couple of things. First, like I mentioned, the only thing I'd eaten today was a slice of toast and 2 eggs, so definitely not enough fuel for a run that I started past lunchtime. My timings actually weren't that bad. It was like 50 something minutes, 58. So actually it was a really good time when I actually look back on it, but it just felt like crap in the moment. I'll put my stats here somewhere so you guys can see them. But yeah, after I actually finished and I looked at the stats, I realized I was kind of beating myself up about it, but I did genuinely just feel pretty bad on the run. How is my makeup looking? Because it felt pretty gross. Like I feel like my lip and like my nose and stuff sweats quite a bit, so I really wanted to like rub it whilst we were running, and I just couldn't. But I obviously hadn't had lunch, and it's like, I think it's actually almost 4 o'clock. Like it's pretty late on in the day now. Also my hair looks vile. Like what is that? What is that? I need to go have a shower and wash my hair. But because I haven't had lunch and I'm going to be behind on my protein, I went and treated myself to 100 grams of biltong. So 100 grams of this is like 52 grams of protein, and there's like barely any carbs or fat in this. So it's actually just like solid protein. This is what it looks like if you're not familiar with it. It's actually just dried beef. I was just editing this video and realised I did not film an outro. I just kind of left you guys hanging after I was eating, well, stuffing my face with biltong. So I'm going to end the video here. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. See you next week.